Hello! Welcome to another movie review. I'm the Bulk, and today we're looking at Transformers: The Last Knight. Right off the bat, I must say that all the previous negatives and problems that people have had with previous Transformer movies are back here again. The plot is as generic and as simple and the same as it's ever been. You have bad guys who have got other bad people to find artifact or weapon or object for whatever reason, and are trying to use that object to destroy Earth. And there is some connection with that object to some humans as well. For some reason, that plot again is used again, and it's getting a bit old now. It really is. I mean, come on, you've got a franchise which has so much lore behind it, and all you can do is the same old story, really. To that extent as well, we also get the uninteresting side plots. Like you have a military organisation built to destroy Transformers, which I didn't really care for, with this general guy that has some beef with Mark Wahlberg's character and so forth. You had uninteresting characters from previous films that have come back, and I really didn't care for it. I thought you could, it's a long movie and it does drag a bit, and you kind of thought you could just cut some bits out. Another problem I have is that the film does get ungodly slow at some points. You have thrilling first 20 minutes and then it just really slows down for melodrama, and it's not even Transformer stuff, which I find interesting. It's human stuff which they're trying to blend Transformers into, and it just doesn't really work for me. Some of the editing is as choppy as normal, because Bay has this very specific style. They like these landscape shots, and he's very particular with the shots he has, and it's all very cinematic and looks stunning, but he has this awful problem that his editing can be a bit off in certain sequences. I didn't notice it much, but when somebody's talking and doing a monologue, sometimes he has this thing where he cuts, and it's like he cuts to angles that really are not flattering, and it doesn't really work for me. And my final big negative that comes back from the other films is that for some reason they feel the need to cast a really attractive woman in every role. For some reason, and it sort of takes the believability out a bit. Now, I'm not saying beautiful women can't be smart, I'm not saying beautiful women can't be there, but it sort of bears a certain scrutiny when you got this, apparently this woman with many degrees and doctorates and everything, trying to be all serious, but she's got a thick Cockney accent, and she's got her cleavage out. It sort of, it mingles for me a bit, and it sort of takes me out. And as a whole, a lot of the acting and so forth for some of the side characters is really just paycheck type acting, they're only doing it for money, and it's sort of, you feel for film with this grandeur they could have done something a bit better. And again, the film just comes across as a bit campy at sometimes, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere new for the franchise, and that's my big thing, is that with 5 films in and we're just not going anywhere. I mean, for Christ's sake, the Fast and Furious series is on 8 films now, and even that's getting better quality storytelling out of it, and knowing it needs to advance, and yet this series still isn't. Now, I must also say quite clearly that there are a few things actually I do enjoy from this movie. Antony Hopkins is in it as an English lord, and he's just fun to watch. Now, he's an actor who's done many serious roles over the years, and he's very well known for doing quite dramatic roles. But here he's given a part that he could just have fun with. He has some really funny dialogue, which by funny I mean as in poorly, really craply written, but so bad it's good writing, so to speak. He has to say modern phrases, he says dude at one point, and that's a bitchin' ride you got there, and he's meant to be this English lord, and he says all this, and he's a bit crazy, and it's all fun because he's just really fun to watch. Mark Wahlberg's also quite fun to watch, he always is. Though I must admit, the acting that impressed me the most in this is the acting from the voice actors for the Transformers themselves. You have the guy who plays Optimus Prime. He's done it for every Transformer thing since the very beginning, or at least I believe everything, most things. I know he's been in this franchise a lot, and I know he was in the original cartoon. He's as good as ever been, and when you hear his voice, you just stop. You just listen, because it's just, there's something awe about it. And the guy who voices Megatron in this is also quite good. In fact, a lot of voice actors in this, alright. There's one or two that I thought were a bit meh, but most of them were quite good. I know this is going to divide a lot of people, but actually I felt I've always kind of liked some of the designs from the Transformers series. Not all the time. I think sometimes it doesn't come off right, but here I feel the designs are actually as best that they've ever been. They're all crisp, they're nice, the knights look good. When you have like knight Transformers, they're quite good. The new designs for Megatron are quite good, and like other like returning characters like Barricade are quite good. Like new characters they've introduced are quite good as well. So, you know, they have things, like the design-wise, they have visually interesting things. The thing as well is there's certain sequences I actually quite enjoyed. The beginning, opening about 10-15 minutes set in medieval England with King Arthur, I felt was really well done and really well put together. It really set the tone quite well, and it really set the backstory for it. One of my favourite sequences was towards the latter half of the movie, where Optimus Prime is fighting a new villain called Infernicus. Now, he's basically this big demon horned transformer that doesn't speak, but he has this thing that he transforms into loads of little robots. And the fight sequence of him is quite good. I really found that actually quite enjoyable. And though hands down my favourite scene in the entire film was a sequence about an hour in, I think. And it's basically mild spoilers. If you don't want to hear anything about it, then turn off now. There'll be a little sign. But there's basically a scene where Megatron is bartering with some lawyers about getting some Decepticons free. And basically the sequence plays out like, if you've seen Suicide Squad, it plays out like that. Like you get a brief snapshot of who the Decepticons are. Like it would say, let's for instance Mohawk, and it'll cut to a little character scene with him, like them either being arrested or being freed or something, and it basically shows off who their character is. I thought that was really cool because those little snippets were really well done, not only for comedic timing but also design wise, for how they were laid out, and I felt they were really good. You introduced basically all of them are new villains in it apart from one. But they're all really well designed. I like the voice acting for it, and I actually liked how the sequence played out. It was different, and it was new, and that's what I kind of liked. And as a whole, the film itself, like, people moan about these films a lot, and I can see why. These films are like the bottom barrel of what movies should be, or at least what franchises should be. But there's still things to watch. It's still watchable. It's still enjoyable. I'm not surprised that people still watch these things. I personally find it highly watchable. I would easily watch it. There are much more boring, dull action films that people find interesting for some reason, but I actually find this maybe not interesting and maybe not proper entertainment, but just fun. I have to say I did enjoy it a lot. I found it very fun to watch, and I found it very enjoyable, so I'm going to have to give it a decent score of 5.5 out of 10. So, thank you for watching. If you like what you see, give that like and subscribe button a little tickle, and I'll be seeing you next time. Goodbye.